Hey there! Welcome to Urban Fireside. I'm Kaya Van Zant. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the difference between simplification and simplicity and what that means for us. It's easy in our crazy busy world to just want to free ourselves of all of the obligations that we have. Don't you feel it? I mean, sometimes it gets so intense. Sometimes I look at the sink and I just go, I can't fucking do another dish. This is crazy. Like, I've got so much going on. How many email accounts do you need, So when it comes to simplification, the idea of simplification is about paring back, right? Cutting back, cutting away. So simplification would say, I'll just disconnect the phone. I'll just delete an email account. I'll just do something to remove the infringing too muchness. And it does work to some degree, but it's not the highest and most powerful road to take. The highest and most powerful road to take is the road of integration. And the road of integration is the road of simplicity, right? Simplification versus simplicity. Now, simplicity is about integration. When you simplify, you take a number of things within complexity and integrate them into a higher order, transcendent order sometimes. Now, you can even see this on your desktop, on your computer. If you have a really cluttered desktop with your computer, you can take all those files and delete them and get rid of them, but you probably need them if you're like me, if you work on your computer. So what do? You create folders, right? You create, overarching categories in which to integrate those many little details into. And I know for myself, in yoga and taking yoga classes, when I first got into yoga, like age 19, age 20, I was really unintegrated in my body. Like, in certain postures, perhaps like a bow pose or something where you're lying on your stomach and you've got hold of your feet behind you. And, the teacher says, like, pull in your rib cage and drop your tailbone. It's like, where's my tailbone? Where's my rib cage? If I can't see it, I can't, how do I feel it? There's an intelligence that you can cultivate to feel into and integrate the pathways and the systems of your body so that you can make little minuscule adjustments into the whole and draw it into the whole. To get too esoteric on you, but the same thing is really true of our psyches. And a lot of this gets called shadow work. Now, shadow work for me has kind of this stigma around it because we think of, in our culture, shadow is bad. We label people who are dark as bad around the world. Like, there's this stigma to it that really isn't the case because shadow just means unintegrated. And even wonderful things can be in your shadow. Like, I know a woman who has by all standards, she's very wealthy. She has lots of money. But she feels so guilty about luxury and treating herself nicely. She never gets a massage. She never gets her nails done. She never gets facials, the things you would expect that a wealthy woman would do. Pleasure is in her shadow, right? She doesn't allow herself to relax and enjoy the pleasures of life. For many of us, that's the case. Now, for some of us, in our shadow is the pleaser. The part of us that just wants everybody around us to be well taken care of and happy and not rock the boat. And we don't think about it. We're not integrated with it. We just act it out. So the psyche is very similar when we start to feel overwhelmed in our lives and we're dealing with overwhelm around work and kids and juggling all these things. The thing that's screaming the loudest is the internal voice that's screaming for integration and for simplicity, that says, simplify it all, bring it all home into the hearth, take it all together. This is part of why I named my company Urban Fireside, right? Because the fireside, we're united. It's a ring, it's a circle, right? All around the fire. And in that place, we're made whole again. Integration, to be made whole, to simplify. How can you integrate the disparate parts of your life without just cutting something away. Now, that's not to say there aren't times when you should cut something away. Like if somebody isn't treating you right, somebody's not honoring you, somebody's not respecting you, you do have to shut that door, right? You do have to protect yourself. That's really important, that you are emotionally respected and honored, right, at every turn. But in other ways, how can you integrate more into your life? How can you come into a state of wholeness? Now, that doesn't mean perfection. And there's a confusion about this. We think, oh, well, when everything... One of my most popular Facebook posts ever was like, I finally have come to the realization that I've been waiting for everything on my to-do list to be done so that I can relax. I've been waiting for everything to be struck off of my list so that I can play again like a kid. And this idea that we have about like trying to get to the end of the list before we can really be more whole is a perfectionism. It's a disease, this kind of perfectionism that says like, I have to have everything done and tidy and orderly and organized and, you know, all of this sort of thing before I can get to the place where I can really let it go, you know? So we learn to be more integrated by letting go in the middle, right? Letting go in the middle, saying, things aren't done. In fact, it's a chaotic mess, and you know what? I'm going to lie down on the couch and read that chapter of the book that I'm so interested in right now, because that's what I need to do. That's about being integrated and not isolating the parts of your life into separate categories, into separate places. So that's the teaching for today. I hope you enjoyed it. You can find more inspiration and some of my writings, teachings, and books on urbanfireside.com, and be sure to subscribe to this video. I'm not sure if it's down there. It might be over there. There. Subscribe. Okay, I'll see you next time.